Have you ever just felt stuck, like you had no will to move forward?
We have, and so we have worked through a couple steps that definitely helped us out to get us back moving when we really just couldn't muster up the will to care.
Sometimes you just aren't feeling it. You just don't care anymore about anything.
And so you gotta muster up the strength to just keep moving forward and keep pressing on towards your goals, right?
Even when you don't want to, and it's things that you know you should want or you believe you should want. You've identified before that they're things you find as a worthy cause, but even if you have the best intention and it's something you truly want to do, if you put too much on you, you might burn out. I know we did.
As we were going through this process of awakening and finding out that a lot of things that we were taught were straight up lies, you kind of get in this situation where you become paralyzed and you really don't know what to do because
you don't know what to believe. You don't know who you are. You have basically like an identity crisis.
Most definitely.
And everything around you just seems to be crumbling because there's nothing that is considered fact anymore.
So how did we get here? How did Lora and I end up in this paralyzed state? First thing is information overload. If you're taking in too much information at one time, your brain really just can't handle it, dude. It really can't take it, and it'll make you start thinking that you're crazy until you really sit down and just get your mind off the subject.
Think of it like your mind is a computer. If you have so many different things running at once, so many different programs running at once, it's very difficult to actually figure out what to pay attention to. You know, you have split focus, and then if you split your focus too much, it's gonna break. Yeah. And that's what happened. We just broke.
So in this book, Mind Hacking, they say it like this: your mind is like Adobe Photoshop. It's powerful, but it's riddled with bugs.
Sometimes when you get that software update, so to speak, what do you have to do? You have to restart your computer so it can take. We had to restart. We had to take a step back. It's also like when your modem overheats and you just gotta unplug it. Sometimes you gotta blow on a little bit.
And just breathe and reset. So you're going into this information overload because so many systems and beliefs and institutions have just been challenged. You're also working on becoming your best version, so you're trying to build new habits,
changing your eating habits,
build new relationships.
So it's a lot. You know, you're changing your paradigm, and at the same time you're realizing that everyone else is just trying to be their best self too.
All they're doing is trying to be their best self, but what they don't realize is that they were programmed from the jump. Everything that you think you know that you've been told from school, from your parents, from your friends, from the government is all basically a lie. So
it's been twisted in some shape or form. You can argue all you want saying that there are good things here and there, but there's things that have been twisted purposely. And if you don't want to admit that, then that's fine. But
if you don't admit that, then nothing will ever change, and you will stay in this little me, oh woe is me, I can't do anything to fix anything mind state, and that's where they want us to be.
It's not helpful. And where has it gotten you so far? Just consider opening your mind and changing. And yes, it's a lot to take in, and yes, you might get frozen, but that's why we're making this video, because it is a lot to take. It is a whole lot to accept and to understand and to even grasp and process, but it's doable, and it's so much
more freeing when you can look at something and actually see it for what it is. So we're gonna move on into how Lora and I shifted our minds and figured out how to get unstuck.
So step number one would be to reset, and to reiterate, you know, that's where you have to take that step back. You have to take that moment to just breathe and get very general about whatever problem you have going on.
Yeah, like Abraham Hicks says, you have to not try and drill down on the details and get in this left brain mentality of trying to figure everything out, because everything works out perfectly if you actually get out of your autopilot mind. First of all, realize that 95% of what you do is autopilot. So you need to expand your awareness and think about exactly what your thoughts are. Observe your thoughts. As you observe your thoughts and expand your awareness, you start to realize the programs that's just been running in your brain, like, oh well, I always just cutting the grass. Like, oh well, I'll just cut the grass tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes.
Ever.
Or
oh man, like doing all the laundry and actually putting the clothes away. That's so, it's a chore. I can't do it. I can't do it all in one day or one sitting. Yeah, I can. Just sit there and start folding. And then before you know it, you're done. It's that simple, but we make things harder than they have to be.
And really, this was taught to us before age 7. Everything that we pretty much run has been given to us before age 7. So when you show me a person at 7, I'll show you the man. Even your identity, who you think that you are, you just got that from your parents and from society. These are just ideas that was made up from some other person somewhere thousands of years ago who is not relevant anymore. And now you think, oh well, I have to get a job and I have to go to school and I have to do this. When you put yourself in a label, you put yourself in a box.
So going off of step 1, step 2 really is you just realize that everything is made up. Everything was just somebody's idea at one point of time. Somebody who's no different than you. At any point in time, we could have been the ones who said, hey, you know what, this is how government's gonna work. That's my brilliant idea. And everyone's gonna do it now.
Oh yeah, pay your taxes.
These all were just things that somebody came up with, or a group of people came up with.
If it didn't come from the sun or the earth, it came from someone's mind. And it is, as a mental construct, you can deconstruct it also.
Think about it like this too. Reality is not as fixed as we think it is. It's not as solid. It's not set in any kind of stone as far as what we see.
Everything is a vibration. Everything is moving, and nothing is in a stationary form. So if you can take that and apply it to your life, you can see that I'm not stuck. I'm always changing. Things are coming into my life for a season. Why am I holding on to this object, this car,
this ideal? They don't own you. They can't physically, they can't tie you down. We have the choice to just let anything go at any point of time and just be like, you know what, enough is enough. I don't want to think of it like this anymore.
Perception is reality. How you perceive something really just changes everything.
You have to think about life. It goes like this. You have your information. You interpret that information through your perception. And then that is how you get your reality and your life experiences. So then if this is how we have our life experiences, this is what we consider our identity, because we agree that it's factual. We look at everything that's happened to us. We're like, yes, that did happen to me. So I feel good about saying this is who I am. Now that's great if you came up with everything in the information, if you analyze that well. But if you have not analyzed where you're getting your information from, then whoever is pumping out the information controls your personal reality.
Yep, controls what you think is possible and impossible.
Anything is possible, and that's really the magic of it all. Quantum physics is showing us that we are blind in the universe. Well, we can only perceive a 5% of what is out there in the universe with our 5 senses. This is touch, taste, smell, see, hear. 5%. If we're basing our reality and what is possible off of 5% of the information, then we are really just putting up a wall and shutting ourselves down to infinite possibilities. We're literally the blind leading the blind. Literally. So we have to just take a step back and realize that everything was made up by someone, and that if you do not agree with it, you don't have to. And you can be the person to make up what happens next. So step 3 to getting yourself out of that funk is realizing that you can't really just focus on the results that are happening. We go along life too many times looking at the effects and saying, well, ooh, look at that. Ooh, look at that. But we're never really looking at the causes of these things and what the root of a lot of the problems that we have. One, start with
what people are telling us and what we're putting in our minds. If you watch a lot of Love and Hip Hop, you're gonna have a Love and Hip Hop mentality. If you watch a lot of uplifting stuff, you're gonna have an uplifted mentality.
You are the sum of the 5 closest people around you. Your mentality is the sum of the 5 things you listen to most, the 5 books you read the most, whatever you listen to when you get into the car. All of these things are what are helping to program and set your new paradigm. Is it something that you want? Is it something that is making you feel stuck? If so, let it go.
And it could be something as simple as music. You can feel when it's just heavy, man, and like...
Because music is a frequency and everything is frequency.
Everything is frequency. So if you can tune yourself to the preferred reality that you want to be in, it's just like the FM radio. You can't be on the rap station and be mad because it's like, where's my gospel music? It doesn't work like that. You gotta change the station first.
And going off of the heavy music, you can also think about, it's all about your vibrations too. You have to keep those high, keep those up. Don't weigh yourself down thinking about downing subjects, because it's literally going to drag your vibrations down, which is going to hinder your manifestation process. It's going to make you feel heavier. It's going to make that stuck feeling feel like it's going on for infinity. That's what happens when you find yourself in the bed and you don't even deal with the snooze button anymore. You just completely put your phone away under the covers, or just staring at the ceiling, not moving for hours.
And also with keeping your vibrations high, you gotta watch what you're putting in your body. Are you eating love or are you eating hate? Because really what you consume consumes you. If you're eating an animal that's been tortured all its life,
especially the last few minutes before it was killed, if it was tortured, that's stuck in that animal at that point. And then that fear and that anxiety, it's trapped in there and transferred to you. Because
energy can never be created or destroyed. It's just information that comes into your body and
it's just transferred. For step 3, you have to focus on not the problem, because if you focus on the problem to get your solution, it usually does not solve everything in the long run.
Yeah, a problem cannot be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. It's like, you live here, so how are you going to be able to look in a holistic way to solve your problem? You're just going to replay the same program you've been running since you were born.
Instead, you have to look at the cause, get to the root. That way you can, if you fix the cause, the effect's going to change.
Yeah, the effect, you're going to instantly get a different effect.
Where your focus goes, energy flows, and that's where results will show.
Yeah, and realize that every subject is 2 subjects. So if you're thinking about how you need money, you need to really think about, are you thinking about how you want money, or are you thinking about how you don't have money? Because if you think about how you don't have something, you're only going to
get more of that.
So you have to make sure that you're not causing an effect unintentionally.
It all goes back with that becoming aware, which is a great step. You have to actually become aware of what you're thinking, what you're saying,
how you're feeling, your intention behind everything.
Your feelings are a direct root of if you're on the right track or not anyway. So you just got to tap into that, get tuned in to how you actually feel, and go
out
with
of the
that
head
gut.
and into the heart, man. Because your head can only see it in a logical way, and that is fine if you need to just survive, but to expand, you gotta
do more than just look at what you can see with your eyes. You have to actually start feeling your way through life.
Because your intuition will tell you every time, oh, it's time to leave. Bang, 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 that place got shot up, or...
And you got out right in time because you listened to that gut feeling. Or something told you, man, I should probably call this person, and you call them up and they were having a horrible day and you really just talked them off of the ledge. You may not know, but your intuition does. It always seems to know exactly what you truly want and what you truly need. So just listen to it. Y'all are on the same team.
If you've ever felt stuck like we have, just know that we feel for you. That's why we're doing this video, to help you process through these things. Comment down below and get into the discussion and let us know how you work through certain things in your life. Be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell to see the next time we put out a video.
That's all the time for now. Remember, focus on making every day legendary. You're worth it.
Peace.